Here's an interesting question. Should there be term limits for Supreme Court justices? Well, right now, if you get appointed to the highest court in the land, it means you've got the job for life. But yesterday, Democrats introduced a bill to create term limits, meaning justices would serve a maximum of 18 years on the bench. DBL Nation, always want to hear from you. What do you think about this idea? Should there be term limits for Supreme Court justices? Let us know, yes or no. Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. What would you say, Al?
I would say absolutely. I know people already assume that we lean one way or the other. I'm talking about just biology, which is what my degree is in.
I think this is pretty universal, though.
Right, yeah. After a certain age, some people have early onset, which I've seen. Some people have later onset dementia or just deterioration mentally. There's a reason that we have, you shouldn't be driving at 95 probably, but you're supposed to be making laws. Like, how do we know that a lot of these people are not kind of deteriorating? We don't even get a chance to look at them. I mean, they're deciding our lives, our children's lives, your daughter's reproductive rights, my daughter's reproductive rights, and who knows where they are mentally, because human beings, as everybody watching and everybody at this panel, we will deteriorate as we get older, but like, you just have this job for life. What other job is like that? Why is this one different?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are on the same page, right? Like,
it's not partisan.
When you grow up in a certain time period, right, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, you have different core values, you have different stigmas, you have different things that are running through your mind, right? To have that job for 50 years and not change with the times and still go into that with the same blinders you had on 50 years ago, that's not American to me. I think there should be a time limit for our presidents, not age shaming or anything like that, with our politicians, and especially with the people who uphold our laws in this country.
I think what I'm most concerned about, Erica, is the fact that when you are telling someone that you have a job for life, how do you know if that person isn't so rooted in safety? Okay, look at Erica's eyes. I hope
no,
you get a
bring it home, girl. Bring it home. I'm listening.
Yeah, when you are that confident with your job, who's to say that you're going to do things that aren't in line with the people, because you're supposed to be representing the people and you're only representing yourself because you are so confident in your said seat. So I'm most worried about that.
Yeah, I think it has to do with apathy. It has to do with bias. It has to do with disconnect from modern civilization. I mean, when you think about the idea of being tenured into anything, there is no reason to follow or change or, adapt to society. Also, the idea that you've been a ruler of the highest court in the land also makes you disconnected from what's actually going on in the streets with the people.
So true.
So when you have people who people are like, oh, it's non-biased because they've been appointed. They've been appointed by someone who was voted for. Like, there's this strange situation where people want to look at the forefathers. Like, would you kick it with the forefathers?
No.
Like, honestly.
They wouldn't.
I mean,
allow
who's kicking it with the forefathers?
Like, yeah.
Who in this society is like going to transplant a forefather to 2022 and be like, yeah, I'm down with you, dog? Some people would, but those people are also tend to be very problematic with society, because you cannot apply things that happened 200 years ago and think that it's going to jive with what's happening today.
I don't think you can apply things that 30 years ago.
Exactly.
The 90s seems like a million years ago. Yeah, so it's like, I completely agree.
And you can't impeach them. It's only happened, I believe, once. And I know that there's a petition right now for Justice Thomas. It has over 1 million signatures. I know that they then have to go through the legislative, route in order to get him impeached. But yeah, to your point, it was codified in the Constitution. It's not like it was codified 2 decades ago by an administration. This has been going on for 200 years.
It's very much a king's mentality, isn't it?
Strange.
It's not representing the people. Final vote, 93% of you. Look at that. 93% of you vote yes, there should be term limits.